Seeing Coach Cook. I am your trusted name in life coaching. Without further ado, I want to ask you one to two things, perhaps. Have you been good to yourself? And have you said nothing but kind things to yourself and about yourself? Why is that important? As I always say, there's a lot of people out here that could say something bad about you, but you don't need to add to that line of people. There's a lot of people that could do something bad towards you, but you don't need to be that person that adds to the others. Yeah. Without further ado, I get a lot of questions about this particular topic, and I want to address it head on. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to waste any time with it. I am going to address it head on because you have a lot of women specifically. They You have a lot of women specifically. They're so concerned with what the other woman what's happening with the other woman. Yeah. So what they do is that they believe that the other women that go out and get the lips enhanced, they go out and get their face enhanced. They believe that the women that go get the BBLs and things of that nature, they think that they're winning. And to be honest with you, when they compare themselves to other women like that, it destroys their self-esteem. And so you have a lot of women that go for men that's not even on their level. You got a lot of women that go for men that's not even on their level. Why? Because they have reduced themselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. They may have the finances, but they've reduced themselves in the other areas. Why? Because comparison is the number one way to reduce yourself. So they look at somebody else, whether it be on social media, whether it be on TV, whether it be through photographs or somebody they've seen in the mall. They look at that person and then they look at themselves. They look at one person, and this person has a flat stomach. She had her chest done. She had her backside done, and she looks like a Barbie doll. And then they go home and look at themselves, and they have a whole bunch of stretch marks. Their backside is flattened, and their chest has been reduced because it's sagging. And they think because they align themselves up with that, they think that they're losing. They think that they're losing. Oh, I'm going in today. Hey, Sharon, I'm going in today. I'm speaking mainly to the women. Hey, Julian. Yeah. I want to show you because you think that you're losing, but I'm here to tell you you're still winning. Yeah, you're still winning. Why is that, Cook? I want to talk about, for the time that is mine, I want to talk about how men filter women. I want to talk about how men filter women. Yeah, Julian, how men filter women. Because I can't tell you how many women, they go out and they spend so much money. They fly down to Miami and they go see Dr. Miami. I had one person, a good friend of mine. She flew to the Dominican Republic. Yeah. She flew to the Dominican Republic. Why? Because here in the United States, a doctor has limitations on how much they can take your waist in. They have limitations on how much they can do to your body. So she flew down to the Dominican Republic because there's no limit. There's no limit. But also in the Dominican Republic, there is no malpractice. You can't, there's a lot of malpractice. I want to unveil to you, how do we look at you? If you're curious about it, put a heart in the chat. If you're curious about it, because this will bless you and it will bless another sister. If you're ready for this, because I'm gonna go raw. I don't think I've ever been this raw, but I'm going to go raw. Put a heart in the chat if you're ready for this discussion. Because let me say this to you. Women think that when they see a beautiful woman, when they look at that woman, listen to me, I need you to get this. Hey, Belinda, hey, they look at that woman, they think that every man wants her and wants to marry her. Yeah. They think in their mind that they want, no, it doesn't, there's no age limit. Whether you 18, whether you 20, whether you 30, whether you 40, 50, 60, there's no age limit. Comparison doesn't have an age limit. Let me say that to you again. Comparison does not have an age limit. Yeah. And so they think they see this person on TV and they look at Halle Berry. I remember one time where every woman wanted to be like Halle Berry because they thought that every man wanted to marry Halle Berry. It's not that every man wants to marry or wants to be with a pretty woman. And I'm talking about how men filter women. We want the experience of being with that person. Men don't always want a pretty woman. Listen to me, because you think that we want to marry them. Nah, most men want them just to see what it's like to be with them. They just want to see what it's like to be with them. Yeah, this is layers to this. Because to be honest with you, a lot of men, listen to me, don't know what to do with a pretty woman. So they would rather experience the pretty woman just to see how it is. But they really, and mentally and emotionally, they don't know what to do with it. Therefore, they can't handle it. Yeah. They can't handle it. I never forget. Let me go there for a minute because I'm gonna go deep, and I need y'all to share this out. Everybody, share this out. Share this out. Everybody, share this out. I gotta go there. A friend of mine, a friend of mine is a pastor. A friend of mine is a pastor, right? And he sells cars, right? So on the cars that he sells, listen to me. He has Bentleys, he has Lamborghinis, he has Jaguars, and he has BMWs. Keep that in mind. He has Bentleys, he has Lamborghinis, he has Jaguars, and he has a BMW, right? One day his adjutant in church is somebody that comes along and just carries all your briefcases and just supports you 100%. One day his adjutant said to him, "I want that Bentley." That's what he said to him. He said, "I want the Bentley." My pastor, my pastor friend who sells cars, he gave him the Bentley. He gave him the Bentley at no charge. This is the thing. When he got the Bentley, he didn't know what to do with it. I'm going there. He didn't know what to do with it, Belinda. Because why? Because he couldn't afford the insurance on the Bentley. Stay tuned. I'm going. He couldn't afford the insurance on the Bentley. Secondly, when he had to get the regular maintenance on the Bentley, he couldn't afford the oil change on the Bentley. Why? Because there's no Bentley dealerships in Maryland. So he didn't want to go to so he had to drive it all the way down to Virginia to get it serviced. He had what he asked for, but he couldn't afford it. He got the Bentley, but he couldn't afford it. And that's how men look at pretty women that got the BBLs. We want it. We want to drive it. We want to test drive it. We want to experience it, but we don't want to marry it. Yeah. Did y'all hear what I said? We want it. Pretty gets the attention, but the attention doesn't always come with intentions. Good God Almighty! I need y'all to listen to me. I'm talking to all the women. Thank you, baby. Janice, listen to this. Because I want to build your self-esteem. I want to clear the runway so that you can take off. Listen to me. Pretty gets the attention, but attention doesn't always come with good intentions. I like how I said that. Let me say it to you let me say it to you one more time. I said a pretty woman will get the attention, but the attention that she gets doesn't always come with good intentions. Yeah. And so so a lot of these women out here are losing their mind and losing their bodies and losing their self-esteem over something that they've created in their mind that really doesn't exist. Attraction opens the door. Attraction opens the door, but it doesn't decide the destination. And so you out here, a lot of women, they out here going out, they see a pretty woman. They say, oh, I want to get that. Maybe if I do this, then I'll get a man like that. Not knowing he just want to see how she is. Yeah. So the first thing that a man does is go for women through attraction. Let me give you the hierarchy because I want you to use this. Hey, Val, I want y'all to use this. I want you to use this. For women, your first instinct is not attraction. Did y'all know that? Yeah. For women, listen to this, Miss Janice. Your first instinct is not attraction. Your first instinct is confidence. So that's why you'll see a pretty woman with a not so handsome man. For us, our first instinct is attraction. Do I want her? Do I want her? Is it visual? Is she visually and pleasing, and it's fast, and we're fast with it, and we are instinctual. Our instinct kicks in just like that. Does she fit the mold? Yeah. So we look at it. I need y'all to write this there. Do I want her? That's the first thing. So in contrast, you thinking about, yeah, we see her. We see her pull up. We see the women out there with no clothes on. We see all that. But that ain't why we want them. We see all, do you know we see all of that? But that's not why we want them. Everybody put experience in the chat. We just want to see what it's like to be with them. When I was growing up, when back in the 80s, I want to give y'all the timeline. I want to give you the timeline between the 80s and the 90s. When between the 80s and the 90s, when the women had the ups, right? It was equal playing field. Now it's like 32 women to one man now. So the playing field is switched. But in the 80s and 90s, I want to give you this. A man would lock down a pretty woman by getting her pregnant. That don't happen no more. But if we saw a pretty woman, we want to lock her down. But these new men do not have a sense of maturity. So these new age men, don't have any maturity, Batty. Now, these new age men, listen to me, they're emotionally, listen to me, they're emotionally immature. I gotta go there. They're emotionally immature. So they're not looking for a destination. They're not looking for marriage. They just want to go ahead and see who they can get. Thank you, kid. Who they can get. Which brings me to my next point. I'm gonna give it to you in 4 layers. 4 layers. I want to give it to you in 4 layers. The first thing, how we filter it, is through attraction. The second thing we do it is access. We filter women through access. The first is attraction. The second is access. How easy is she? How easy is she? Y'all not going to believe this. I want to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you raw. I don't think I've ever talked this raw to you. How easy she is. That's what we look for. Thus, that's why you have a side chick syndrome. We want to know how easy is she? We want to know how fast do she move? Y'all not gonna like this. We want to know how cheap is she? Y'all hear what I said? We want to know how fast she is. We want to know how fast she is. Because our concern is her accessibility. We want to know how fast she is. We want to know how cheap she is. The third thing, we want to know how unguarded she is. How unguarded she is. What does that mean? We want to know where she weak at. So if she just got out of a relationship, oh, we want you. You just ended in divorce. Oh, we want you. Your boyfriend or your husband not paying any attention to you. Oh, we want you because you unguarded. You unguarded, you cheap, and I know you ready to go. And then we want to know what's your vibe. We want to know what's your vibe. Because listen. Because once we find out how cheap you are, once we find out how unguarded you are, once we find out how fast you are, once we find out your vibration, listen to me, and I'm talking on all these platforms, listen to me. Then my mind shifts into a moment mindset, not a builder mindset. We're not thinking about building. Once we know the accessibility, once we know how we can access you, we only want you for the moment. So if we got a pretty girl, we got a very pretty woman, they got easy access, she goes into the experience category. That's why I am begging you, I am pleading with you, you have to have standards. I'm talking to the women right about here. Baby, you got to have some standards with yourself. You got to love on yourself that you don't care how fast she is. You don't care how cheap she is. You don't care how accessible she is. You stand your ground. You love on yourself. You call yourself pretty. You take care of yourself. You make your self-worth go up. You don't care about nobody else, baby. You focus on who you are. We don't make no shifts. We don't change for nobody. The world changes for us. The next filter is we want to know your value. Yeah, we want to know. So the first thing is attraction. The second thing is access. And the third thing is after we converse with you, this is the lenses after we converse with you, we want to know we want to know your value. Because after I finish talking to you a couple of times, I want to know your value. And right around here, this is where pretty women often lose leverage. Let me say it to you again. Right around here is where pretty women And this is where it turns. I need y'all to stop worrying about these. You're pretty, period. You are beautiful, period. You look gorgeous, period. I don't care what you think. Stop comparing it. You're beautiful. You're pretty. You got it going on. You the ish. I don't care. I don't care how flabby your arms are. I don't care how big, how saggy your boot. I don't care how many stretch marks you got. I don't care if you've had a C-section. I don't care if you got that split. I don't care about none of that. You got it going on. Thank you. Yeah, you comparing yourself to the wrong thing, baby. Baby, this is where the leverage switch. Listen to me. This is where the leverage switch, where the value component comes in. Why? Listen to me. And this is where women that don't go out and get these enhancements start winning. Listen, because once we start conversing with you, we want to know: are you peaceful? Are you respectful? Are you disciplined? Do you make my life louder, or do you make it lighter? Yeah. See, because the thing is, beauty attracts a man. Value decides if he stays around or not. Did y'all get that? I need you to get that, baby, because I'm talking to some valuable women up in this piece. Baby, beauty will attract a man all day, but the value decides whether he's there. Look, like I told you in the beginning, everybody wanted to marry Halle Berry, but Halle Berry is working on her fourth marriage. Everybody wanted Kim Kardashian, but the last I checked, I preached a whole sermon on this. The last I checked, she's on number 18, and that's the ones that's notable. That's the ones that's out here. That's the ones that we know about. Beauty will get them, but are you valuable enough to make him stay? Yeah. Because it's one thing to want somebody to. It's one thing to want somebody to keep you, but it's another thing to have somebody to be kept. To have somebody be kept. This is where you have to understand. Are you disciplined? Do you listen? Or do you judge? When I have a conversation with you and I tell you certain things, do you throw it back up in my face? Do you get loud when I make a mistake? When I'm going through and I made a mistake, I may have did something stupid with the finances. I may have done. Are you going to yell at me? Are you going to raise your voice? Are you disciplined with the finances? Or do you go out and do you spend all your money on frivolous things? Can I trust you with these are the things that men look for. I ain't worrying about because they going to get turned off when you got this pretty woman asking for a Gucci bag. Can you help her? Can you help her get her some Gucci shoes? This is where the leverage twists. It stops. So we want to get comparison. And for those of us that are just coming in, let me take a pause right here. If you have not hit that follow button, hit that follow button. I'm Coach Cook. I'm your trusted name in life coaching. Today we're talking about how men filter women. That's what we're talking about. How men filter women, because when I do these speaking engagements and things of that nature, I'm always asked the same thing. How come women with the better bodies and stuff get the better men? I'm telling you, they only want to experience them. The first thing that how we view them is we view them through attraction. We view women through attraction. We view them through access. The third thing, we view them through value. This is where the leverage, this is where it switches at. The fourth thing is, and this is the final filter. I need y'all to get this. I need you to get this, because this is where it's going. This is where I'm going in. We filter women through risk and responsibility. Listen, this is how we filter women, through risk and responsibility. If the man senses that she doesn't have any boundaries, if the man senses that she doesn't have any self-respect, or that she doesn't have any emotional regularity, if she's so consumed or her head is blown up by how many men are in her inbox or are in her DM, if she's regulated by her social media, we ain't gonna want you. Did y'all hear what I said? See, this is what we look for. If she is regulated by, I never forget. A buddy of mine. A buddy of mine was played with so bad. Listen to me. I need y'all to get this. He was played with by somebody so bad. The girl had him competing for the comments that she was getting on social media. So every time a person made a comment on social media, listen to me, every time a person made a comment on social media, he would go read it. And then she would say, oh, that's just somebody that's trying to take me out to dinner. And he was competing. I am telling you, this is how we filter. If a man senses desperation, if he senses availability, if he senses a fear of loss, we don't want to have anything to do with you. Nothing. We don't want to have anything to do. I can't tell you enough. You think that these women, that's all over social media, that's on the Housewives of Atlanta, that's on all of these other, you think that they're winning. Baby, you better go out here and not be concerned about getting on all these different pills, getting all of this skincare to hide your stretch marks. No, we're not doing that. You going out here buying all of these products, trying to look good for somebody else or trying to compete with somebody else. I am telling you, I gave you the filters. Men don't look at women the way you think they do. And you're risking everything. You're risking everything for nothing. Yeah, you're risking everything for nothing. I am telling you, listen to me. A woman who doesn't have her body enhanced, a woman who doesn't have her body enhanced, a woman who doesn't go out here and wear all of this gets her nose, all of this stuff done, has more leverage. Y'all not hearing me today. It has more leverage. Why? Because the men don't feel intimidated. They feel invited. Let me say it to you again. A natural woman, you think that you may not be natural enough. A natural woman has more leverage. Why? Because he doesn't think he doesn't feel intimidated. He wants to feel invited. What do I mean by that? What do I mean? He doesn't want to feel like you did it just to be a showpiece. When you're natural, we just want you and we're comfortable with you. Because why? Because it's not about the external. A lot of it is about the external, but it's not solely about the external, but it's about what you packing, what your internal is saying. How are you? What your internal says about you. I'm telling you, you have to, how do I want to say it? You have to slow your roll. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. And filter out the tourist. Slow your roll. Speed invites experience. When you slow your roll, it invites seriousness. Let me say it again. When you want to keep moving all fast and you let him dictate the pace, That invites an experience, an experience, an experience. But when you have a pace that you're moving at, that you're not feeling, that you're not being rushed, slow and steady, that you're not feeling rushed, that invites an experienced person. I'm sorry, a serious person. That invites an experienced person. So you wonder why so many women feel played. So many of these women, these pretty women feel played. You wonder why they jump around from man to man. Because she only put it out there to be experienced. But she didn't put it out there for any serious invites. Yeah. I've told you how we view, women, and I want to give you some appetizers. I want to give you some appetizers to go off of. I want to give you some regulations, and I promise you this will bless you. The first thing is, and I always talk about this, is that your self-respect creates attraction that beauty can't. Let me say it to you again. Your self-respect gets the attraction that beauty can't. You ain't out here begging. You don't overgive. You're not over explaining. You're not chasing. Yeah. Men don't value what they can replace easily. Let me say that again. We don't value what we can replace easily. So we can always listen to me. So we get this pretty girl, right? We get all of these women that got these BBLs. We can go pay for that. That's a builder body. You hear what I said? That's a builder body. We can go ahead and get another one of them. That's easily replaced. We give them 6,000. We give them 6,000. Go ahead and get that body done. We can get another one of them. But when you have a level of self-respect, when you're loving yourself, you can't teach that, baby, on another level. You can't teach that on another level. You can't teach that. The next piece, the next appetizer I want to give you, work with what you have. Baby, it's going to get hot around here, baby. First of all, let me take a pause. If you have not hit that follow button, hit that follow button. If you have not hit that follow button, hit that follow button. And I need hearts in the chat, baby. I need hearts in the chat if y'all flowing with me. I need hearts in the chat because it's getting ready to get ugly right around here. It's getting ready to get ugly right around here. And please don't judge me, but I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to help you. Baby, you got to work with what you have. You got to work with what you have. Stop going out here buying this, that, and the other, thinking something is going to change. Work with what you have, because it's the worst thing that you can do is have a pretty face, a pretty body, but an ugly inside. Ooh. It's not about becoming, listen to this, Belinda, it's not about becoming someone else. It's about polishing what God gave you. Janice, listen to me. Are you operating in your femininity? Because that's the biggest thing going on right now. That's the biggest thing. You got so many women that's operating in masculinity. Baby, are you tapped into your feminine side, baby? Baby, are you tapped into your feminine side? That's what I want to know. Because you have a whole lot of people, baby, they're trying out here trying to be masculine. Yeah. Are you tapped into that soft girl side of you? Because ain't no sense in, because we think that we have to tap into the masculinity. We think that we have to be hardcore. That's not attractive. A man don't want that. Men notice scent. SCENT. How you smelling today? I think I might be giving y'all a little bit too much. I think I might be giving y'all a little bit too much right about here, baby. Let me know if I'm giving y'all too much, baby. We want to know how you smelling. You smell good. We want to know if you're clean or not. We want to know you. We look at your posture. If you're always walking around with your head hung down. We want to know how you carry yourself before perfection. That's what we want to know. I never forget. I gotta tell y'all this. I gotta tell y'all this because I was one of those, and I want to be transparent, and it's no judgment, y'all. It's no judgment. I was one of those guys. I was one of those guys that chased pretty, right? And then the eye opener came. I got to give you this. I took somebody home. Took somebody home, and this person. I'm in Maryland, and this person was one of the contestants on Miss Maryland, right? And I had a baddie. I'm feeling good. Listen to this, Nene, because I gotta bring this. I gotta bring this full circle, and I'm ready to close. And I'm out here, and I'm flaunting a baddie, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I got a nice, good-looking woman on my side. Went out on a date. I'm dropping her off. I said, "Can I use your bathroom?" That's what I said to her. Belinda, I said, "Can I use your bathroom?" She said, I said, "But I gotta go." She was making these excuses. And I said, "I gotta go. I'm just gonna run in and go use it and come back out." I go in there and it was dark. And I turned the light on. And I can't tell y'all what I saw. Yeah. That it. I go in there and I'm not even gonna tell you what I saw. I wouldn't even let, if I had a puppy, I wouldn't even let a puppy go in there. And a pretty person can look pretty all day, but we want to know how clean you are. There was dead flies and mosquitoes all in the windowsill. The sink had a big brown or black circle on it. The bathtub had a brown circle and everything. The floor, the toilet looked like it hadn't been cleaned in about 5 years. But she got the Louis bag. She got the Louis bag. She got the BBL. She looked good. She smelled good. But when you go into the crib, it's a whole nother. I'm saying this and I'm not judging her because she is a great person. I don't judge her. You'll never know who she is. I don't judge her. She's an amazing person. But she just wasn't for me. We want to know, baby, the fastest way to become attractive is when you stop auditioning. I want to speak into your life right around here. The fastest way for you to become attractive is when you say to yourself how beautiful you are. The fastest way you become attractive to people is when you start accepting who God created. There's some people that will never get skinny. There's some people that will never get thick. I had a boss. Listen to me. When BBLs first came out, I had a boss, right? I had a boss. She was pretty thick. Listen to me. She was one of the first ones in Maryland to get the surgery. She went and got it. She had a big, she had thick arms. So she went and got her arms done. I just saw it not too long ago. And when you look underneath her arms, she has a scar on both arms that's real huge, going from her armpits all the way down. She got the BBL. She has a small waist, but her ankles and her legs are humongous. Her ankles and her legs are humongous. There are some people, there's some of you out here, baby, you were designed to be petite. You were designed to be skinny. It's just petite. We don't say the word skinny. And no matter, we don't try to reposition ourselves. We don't really try to change. We don't do that. There are some of you, you were designed to be thick-boned. We don't say that you're fat. We're not calling that on you. That's not your terminology. And I please, for the life of God, I wish when I meet somebody, they were saying, stop saying that they're fat. Stop it. This is who God created you to be. And baby, you got to embrace that. I went, and I'm closing. I'm closing right here. I'm closing. I want to close, and I want to say this to you. There are some men that you've dealt with that were extremely immature, and you gave them a pass. Some men you've dealt with that were extremely, and you kept giving them a pass, baby. You kept giving. Some men, you can't convert immaturity out of them. Yeah. There's some men that you just can't change. I don't care how single you are. I don't care how long you've been single. Baby, I'm telling you, and it's your fault. So after today, I've given you a litany. Give you a litany. I've given you how to run your business. I've given you everything, baby. Baby, I gave you the secret sauce. I give you the secret sauce. Your greatest flex as women is not how you look. It's when you're able to say no without guilt. That's your greatest flex. Did you know that? Your greatest flex is when you're able to say no without guilt. When you'll be able to walk away and say, this is not for me. That's your sexiness. Your sexiness is your soft girl era. When you put them clothes on and you're looking good and you're smelling good, baby, you're soft girl. When you function and not trying to beat a man down, not trying to create any kind of analysis on him. No. Because who he is, he will reveal himself. Baby, I hope this blessed you. I hope this blessed you. Baby, if this blessed you, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention. I've never gone this hot and heavy like this, but hopefully it blessed you. If you have not hit that, that follow button, make sure that you connect with me. Make sure that you connect with me. I come on every day. I'm going to start on other platforms. I promise you, just like I'm doing today, I'm going to start coming on every day. I give you my word on that. I give you my word, for real, for real. Because I give one app this, and I ignore the other apps, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair. So I gave you the four keys on how men view women, the lenses. And to all my women out there that are looking or are comparing, there's no comparison to you. There's no comparison. Nobody in the world shares the same DNA. But I got to give you this. I got to give you this. 99, all of us share 99% of the same blood. Let me say this to you. All of us share 99% of the same blood. The only thing that differentiates our DNA is 1%. Let that sink in. There's only 1% that differentiates us, that's distinct in terms of DNA. I need you to know I need to know what you're doing with that 1%. Are you growing it? Are you accepting it? We're not accepting the hand that we were dealt. And when you grow into your own, I promise you, being yourself is the biggest flex, baby. I'm telling you, everybody, when I was growing up, nobody in elementary, none of them wanted me. You know what I'm saying? None of them wanted me. They didn't want nothing to do with me. They wanted them. And now the tables turn. Why am I sharing this with you? Because the ones that don't want you right now, once you start operating in that soft girl era, once you put them scents on, once you get your posture right, they gonna want you. Baby, they gonna want you. But something better is out there. There's this thing I wanted to introduce to you. I bought off of Amazon. If you're concerned with your posture, I don't have it's over there somewhere, but it's called a posture corrector. It's called a posture corrector. It's like maybe like $9 on Amazon, somewhere like that. But if your posture is not up to par, you walk like this or something like that. The posture, get that. Thank you. Thank you, Janice, baby. Thank you. It's called a posture corrector. So get yourself one, and you got to wear it all day. Wear that thing all day long so your posture can be right. Hold your head up. Hold your head up, baby. You got this. We're not looking for perfection, but that doesn't mean you stop trying to be perfect. That doesn't mean you stop trying to be your best self, because your best self is who you were created to be. I am Coach Cook. I will be on tomorrow on YouTube and all of the other. Make sure that you are locked in. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure that you like, comment, and share this out with as many people as possible. I'm typically over my time, but I love you. I love you. God loves you best. Share this with a sister. She needs to hear this. I see you soon.